What is up, everybody? This is Alex from IHE TV. And today I'm talking about The Naked Gun, a reboot sequel of the classic Leslie Nielsen comedies. I think I've seen the first two of these. I was always drawn more to Airplane. That's not to say the Naked Gun series didn't have its own moments of brilliance. Liam Neeson had big shoes to fill, and I'm still not really sure if he was the right choice for this. Ever since Taken, obviously the ongoing gag with him, he has a particular set of skills. Like, it's in the tagline, it's in the description. He's appeared in various Seth MacFarlane movies over the years, referenced countless times, using his cold stoicism to sell absurdist humor. And I think it works better for me in small doses. And while there are a lot of good jokes in this movie, a lot of good sight gags, ridiculous, silly puns, the tone is good. I just like how ridiculous and unserious it is. It was held back by a bunch of things that kind of made a lot of it boring, if I'm being honest. This is directed by Akiva Schaffer, who I think I've seen all of his big features going all the way back to Hot Rod. And I've liked most of them outside of... Oh no, he did The Watch. I've got it rated as a 6 here, but I have a feeling that would go down if I saw it again in a long time since 2012. But yeah, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers I thought was an okay idea, just executed in a way that didn't connect with me. But I like The Lonely Island, they had some good songs back in the day. And I guess it's fitting that he's directed a bunch of SNL. There is an SNL-y feeling to a lot of this movie, as far as how hit or miss it can be. Maybe every 5 or 6 out of 10 jokes worked for me. I still think my favorite joke in the whole movie was kind of ruined in the trailer with the O.J. Simpson reference, which they had to address in some way, and the way they do it is very funny. But it feels kind of stuck in an awkward spot where it's not bad enough to be a disaster movie in every meaning of the word, but it's also not good enough to be a Hot Fuzz tier parody, or obviously the original movie it's trying to be the spiritual successor of. I just feel like it's already evaporated from my memory, and I literally just finished watching this 5 minutes ago. I'm probably never going to think about or watch this ever again. I was kind of into it for the first half an hour, but it just couldn't find an angle to keep that momentum going. There's a funny line that Neeson has, getting at the core challenge that this movie has, about how it needs to be a Naked Gun movie, but also at the same time be completely different and original. I feel like a lot has changed with these like cop action movies since the 80s and 90s that could have been mocked in maybe smarter ways, because the core plot is just so basic and it's just kind of there to deliver these set-piece joke sequences, which is fine. And it's one of the difficult things about talking about comedies is like, if you find all these jokes, if your batting average for these jokes is 9 out of 10 are making you cackle, maybe even giggle, then you're just going to enjoy it more. But I found it to be weirdly plodding and lacking in energy. And we are in a weird place with comedies in cinema. Like, I just googled best comedies of the 2020s, and the only ones that really connect with me are the, like, creepy, esoteric ones that, like, push boundaries, like A Poor Things. A Real Pain was decent. I'm thinking of ending things. That hilarious romp. Or a lot of the comedy I enjoy in film nowadays is more so when there's clever dialogue and character dynamics, like A Banshees of Inisherin here. Great film, but still kind of more of a drama. Like Red Notice, Free Guy, oh my god. Again, another round, great film, but still a drama at its core. None of these are going for the looseness and absurdism that Naked Gun is known for. Again, like Triangle of Sadness. Funny film, clever, but it's just such a different type of comedy. I'm such a stickler for like reference humor, and it can be done well, I just feel like it's usually the exception, not the rule, where it can be such a crutch. Like, I found the Black Eyed Peas gag quite funny, especially with the way it's reincorporated towards the end with Fergie. But then they'll do like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer diatribe, and it's like, I've never seen that. I don't really get what's that funny about just listing off names of things that you might or might not know. And there are a bunch of scenes in this movie where if you kind of pluck them out, nothing would really change, which feels unfair to criticize in a film where like nothing is serious and nothing is important really, because it's just so inherently goofy. It just felt like it needed a few more passes at the gags, or maybe the production design, because the direction was pretty flat and boring. That's when something like a Hot Fuzz will elevate goofy absurdity, where it's just so well made, so well storyboarded and put together, where it can rise above a string of references, and this can't really find the footing to do it. Yeah, the sight gags were definitely my favorite, handing the coffee cups constantly. Just the ridiculous puns, like the cold cases, like taking it literally. There's a guy coming out of a cold room with the cold cases. That kind of stuff's funny to me. I guess, what rating is this? A 15. So the exact same as the original. And they're clearly going for the same tone, but I suppose even David Zucker couldn't keep it going past the millennium. Yeah, it almost feels too safe for me, because like, you could do some pretty wild cop humor, and they just kind of dip their pinky toe in with the body cams and the endless jokes about how he warps the law around what he wants to do. I'm always going on about like The Big Lebowski, which in a way is its own type of parody movie, and that was 90s too. But it just has better writing, better characters, better structure, has more cleverness. It felt better scene by scene, where it would be like, oh yeah, that's a funny scene or idea for an SNL skit for 3 minutes. Then it would switch to another one, and that one wouldn't work. And it would make a reference to something. There'll be a celebrity cameo. It will parody like Mission Impossible randomly. Has the same composer, Lorne Balfe, who did Mission Impossible Fallout at least. The music wasn't really doing anything, the camera work wasn't that interesting. This set piece was probably the funniest one to me, and moments of the one towards the end, shooting teeth back into people's mouths and whatnot. I don't know, I'm just not very passionate about this. I wouldn't call it bad, but I also wouldn't call it that good. Just almost completely down the middle for me. So once I give this rating of 2.5 stars, the second I hit save, I'm never going to think about this ever again. So let me know your thoughts. Did it work better for you? Am I too uptight? Am I too dry? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next vid. Bye.